I was kind of thinking about how I think growing up as a overly self-assured, kind of arrogant youth, this personal autonomy was something that I kind of always felt like I was in touch with. I trusted myself in some sense, to be able to follow through on things, and yet both of those other qualities were very much lacking. A very interesting thing that came up for me as we were talking about it is that I did jujitsu a decade ago, and I was confident in my own self, but the way that I showed up in this environment led to the being really hard for me to connect with people, and I think it was almost like it was kind of a I'm okay by myself. It was a bit of there was an armored quality to it. And yet I did probably still appear to like the guy that was like, oh, he must really have something going. He looks really solid or grounded or something like that. Now that same grounded quality that I kind of associate with the personal autonomy is there. But there's this very open, kind of vulnerable receptivity. And so now I kind of always keep finding myself being like the person that, as we're pairing up, there's going to be somebody who feels left out or doesn't know they're new or something, and they find me right away. Like they can just kind of tell I'm available, and I've had so much more. Yeah, like you said, like people just kind of know there's a vibe that when you're available and confident,
And vulnerable.
and
Right.
vulnerable. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a way in which you're not afraid of your own vulnerability, and you can put that out there because you have confidence in that spacious aspect. It's malleable. Vulnerability is malleable, it's tractable, and you're not afraid that somebody's you're not afraid that if necessary, you can provide those boundaries to stop somebody taking advantage of a situation and making things go badly wrong for other people or whatever. And because you're not afraid of that, then you can simply be open with your vulnerability because you're trusting your own capacity to calibrate what is appropriate in a situation.
Mm-hmm.
And learning to do that. Sometimes you miscalibrate a little bit.
Oh yeah, and that seems to be, we talked about the interface between the confidence and the ethical maturity, and not the confidence allows you to act the way that I'm seeing that interface now between the personal autonomy and the emptiness or the spaciousness is very much knowing that you are vulnerable because this is a vast world and anything could happen, and yet being completely okay being vulnerable and knowing that you have the capacity to do something to act when it's needed. So there's this strange, I know Trumpla uses the kind of cocoon thing where we kind of build our cocoons to kind of hide from the overwhelmingness of the world, and stepping out of it is something that takes some sort of, it makes you open for
Right.
the world to impact you in some sense.
Right. So there is this substantive form quality that is preventing helplessness in the situation. So vulnerability can very easily move into a sort of vast realm of overwhelm and felt helplessness in the face of terrible things, especially big, abstract, intangible, terrible things. And your autonomy and your confidence in that situation is what allows the vulnerability just to remain open without getting crushed by circumstances. Yeah.